this week's equity market roundup, we're going to be looking at France. Now, France has been the focus of a lot of negative economic news in the last few months, especially if you look up in the run-up to last week's election. They had several months where their PMIs indicated a contraction in output. However, this looks to be turning around. If we look at the latest results, they showed their first growth in output in several months now. So with that in mind, we were going to check in on investor sentiment to see how are investors really kind of behaving in French equities. Now, at first glance, if we look at short interest here, you can see on this graph, it's up about slightly over 10% year to date. It currently sits about 2.6% of shares outstanding on loan in the 120 index, which is kind of their all shares index, showing you that obviously short sellers have been attuned to this negative sentiment, to the negative news, and are happy to increase their positions in that sense. Now, if we focus our attention to long-only investors, using ETFs as a proxy, what we can see is, France has also been the focus of. They're also been focusing on this negative sentiment. If we look at it, French ETFs have seen a negative outflow for the first quarter, and this actually marks the fifth quarter out of the last six where the investors actually pulled funds from France. So again, looking to narrow their exposure to France, and if we look at the overall European ETF market, it's kind of the reverse of that. It's actually seeing pretty steady growth. So again, it shows you that there is quite a lot of negative sentiment there. And there also, if you look at the performance of French equities, the CAC 40 has actually underperformed the wider Euro Stoxx 50 index year to date. So again, it shows you that there is reason to be cautious there. Now, if we drill down a bit deeper, we have POJO as one of the most shorted French companies in the French equity market. Now, if you can see here from this trend, POJO saw a big surge in short interest at the beginning of the year. And again, that's as continuing deterioration in the market, and we saw a decoupling of the French market from the wider Eurozone. And if we look at POJO especially, it's interesting because it's got a heavy reliance on France, probably a lot more so than Renault, which is its nearest competitor. It's always interesting to see. But if we focus in the very latest developments, we've actually seen a bit of short covering. So again, Peugeot's looking to diversify away from France. France is also rebounding a bit better, and that's playing into the hands of Peugeot, and we've seen short sellers trim their positions there. So thank you very much, and have a nice week.